Hello everyone, I'm Brian and welcome back. Let's go ahead and continue with part 2.
And yet, you can inhabit this waking world and enjoy it to the fullest. The good things here, Sedona, and smoggy, this is no longer smoggy, LA, or whatever it is, the good and the bad, all of them. And you can live a full life in your waking world, in a waking incarnation also, with joy and fearlessly so. Because you are ultimately not trapped in this. You're absolutely independent of it. Okay, let me go ahead one more point, and then I still have not come to Om. One more point. When we say fourth, it does not mean there are actually four consciousnesses. There is only one consciousness which appears as three. We already see some of that, right? Waking, dreaming, deep sleep are not three different persons apart from you. They are you, but they are appearances in you. You are not trapped in any of them. So, and a good example, very good example, which I often use is gold and ornaments. Suppose there's gold, and it is made into a necklace. Then it's melted and made into a ring. Then it's melted and made into a bracelet. Now, necklace, ring, bracelet, 1, 2, 3. They are different. They look different. Their names are different. Necklace, ring, bracelet. And they're used in different parts of the body. Necklace, ring, bracelet. And yet, isn't it the same thing, the same gold? Right? It's the same gold. It was made into these three forms. And the gold in itself is neither a necklace, nor a ring, nor a bracelet. But it is the reality of the necklace, reality of the ring, reality of the bracelet. Is it not? Now, this is an example. You'd say, so what? The conclusion is this. Vedanta says, or the Mandukya Upanishad claims, you are that one consciousness, just like the gold, which is now fashioned into the waker and the waker's world. Then again melted back into and fashioned into the dreamer and the dreamer's world. And then melted back into a lump of featurelessness called the deep sleep. But in and through waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper is one awareness. So the fourth is not separate from the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. It is in and through the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. Just like gold is in and through the necklace, bracelet, and the ring. Right? Why is this important? Because when people hear the fourth, something apart from waker, dreamer, deep sleeper, immediately the conclusion is, then there must be, this is not the truth right now. There is something else called the fourth which I have to attain, then only I have attained illumination. It's like saying, oh, the necklace is not the truth. I have just been told the truth is something called gold. Throw away the necklace. Let me search for gold. You'll never find it. You just threw it away. The absolute, call it God, Brahman, whatever you call it, the light of pure awareness, the Buddhists have a beautiful term, the clear light of the void. Whatever you call it, it's available fully, completely, right here, right now. You are it. Just as the gold is fully available. Where? In the necklace. Or when it is a ring. Or when it is a bracelet. It is the gold. But you have to know the gold as gold. A good story which Sri Ramakrishna used to tell, very beautiful story. It's the story of the washerman who found a diamond. The story is, in India...
Sorry. My gosh, I've been thinking a lot about what he said there. Again, it goes back to the three different ways I think about it. This one's kind of falling apart, the material world kind of thing. This middle round is getting a bit stronger in my opinion. And this middle one is about everything must manifest in consciousness for you to be aware of it. This one being Advaita Vedanta. As far as I can understand, I don't fully understand it yet, but the material one is dying out. And this one is becoming a much stronger belief, I guess you could say, as far as all the things that have been spoken, as far as I can understand it. This one is becoming a much stronger argument for it. Let me put it that way. But everything must manifest in consciousness. And it goes along the sides of what they say about everything is consciousness. Because if everything must manifest in consciousness, therefore everything is consciousness. But the difference is, which I'm not exactly sure is a difference in those two beliefs at the moment, is that in this belief is the consciousness is in your mind, and in your mind alone. Whereas everyone has their own consciousness in their own mind, which seems like duality. But let me just go ahead and do the two. So the everything must manifest in consciousness and Advaita Vedanta. So both say that everything is consciousness. But in this one, it's in your own mind, and your mind, and that person's mind, and that person's mind. But there is no separation in your mind, because in your consciousness, if it manifests there, you are aware of it. If it doesn't exist. Which, again, kind of plays on both. Advaita Vedanta says everything's consciousness. This one says everything must manifest in your consciousness. Your consciousness. Which is kind of what he's saying there. Where, similarly anyway, I'm not sure it's exact, but it's very similar. I'm struggling with those two. But those two so far has the strongest, in my mind, the strongest argument for. Because, again, this one in Advaita Vedanta, my thoughts on this one in Advaita Vedanta are very similar. Again, the disconnect is just a matter, what do you mean by everything is consciousness kind of deal? Where this one says that potentially that the material world is real, but that it has to still manifest in your consciousness for you to be aware of it. Even though this is real, it must manifest in your consciousness for you to be aware of it. Because even if this is real and you're not conscious of it, you have no way of being aware of it, it doesn't exist. Which is weird to say. This exists and doesn't exist at the same time. Because if you are aware of it, it exists. If you're unaware of it, it doesn't exist. Even if I'm doing like this. I'm doing like this. I feel something here. Something exists here. I'm doing this. No, not feeling anything. Am I doing anything? I don't know. But I must be doing nothing because I don't see, feel, touch, taste, smell, anything. Both can be valid arguments. But again, I don't know. I'm really thinking those two, that one out, flushing that out as much as I can, and seeing if maybe those two are the same, or maybe there is something different there. I'm just not too sure yet.
Yeah, you have to see the Indian context, where until very recently we didn't have washing machines for the clothes washing or dryers. So there would be these people, a lot of such people who are washermen and washerwomen. They'll come up and pick your clothes from your house, and then they take it to the riverside, and then they wash it. You wouldn't want to know what they do to the clothes, the way they thrash it on the rocks. But they really make it clean. And they spread it out on the rocks and dry it, and they scrub it. And so this washerman found a stone, a shiny stone, and thought it was a nice rock to scrub the clothes with. Actually, it was a huge diamond, but he didn't know what a diamond was. So he scrubbed clothes until one day he thought, this is a weird rock. Let me ask my friend who's a vegetable seller who knows a little more than me. So he goes to the vegetable seller. What do you think this is? How much will you give me for it? And the vegetable seller said, oh, this is not an ordinary rock. It's quite a pretty rock. And I will give you 10 rupees for it. Even he didn't know what a diamond was, but he thought it's something nice. Luckily, the washerman thought, let me ask somebody more knowledgeable than him. So whoever he went to, each of them gave a higher valuation of that. Until he came to the diamond merchant, who said, my God, where did you find this? This is the most magnificent diamond I have ever seen or heard of. I will give you 10 million rupees for it. And so the washerman was immediately rich, and all his troubles were over. Now the point of the story is, all along he had this most magnificent diamond with him, and he didn't know it. He used it for scrubbing clothes. The point is, we have the absolute. Right now, we are it. But we don't know it. What do we use it for? We use it for seeing and hearing, consciousness, smelling and tasting and touching, fighting and desiring and hurting and feeling miserable and committing suicide. And that's what we use consciousness for, like scrubbing clothes with the diamond. We don't know what it is, what we have got here. The key to salvation is right in our hands, right now, right, all the time. It's right there. I always used to think, let people put a price on things, but the greatest thing in the world should always be free and always available. And the fact is, it is. That's what makes it ultimately a just world. The greatest thing, that your awareness, this consciousness, this immortal awareness which we are, it's continuously available to us all the time. Just like the sunlight and the air and the water, like that, much more than that. The most important thing is this awareness is continuously available to us. The fourth is something that we already are. The three are manifestations of that fourth: waking, dreaming, deep sleeping. But why are they important? Waking, dreaming, deep sleeping? Because they are doorways to this realization. Why is the necklace important, or the bracelet, or the ring? Because with that you can realize what gold is. You need a name and a form. All right. Done. Now we go into Om. You might have a question that, all right, it's very good. Now what do I do? How do I get this? In Sanskrit it's called Brahma Jnana, the realization of Brahman, the enlightenment. How do I get this? Traditional religion or yogic approaches, it would be a lifelong process of devotion and worship. Yogic processes would be a lifelong effort of concentrated meditation and so on and so forth, all of which are good. Vedanta does not dispense with anything. All of them Vedanta sees as useful and helpful for ultimate enlightenment. But Vedanta gives direct methods. And one of the most powerful direct methods is Om. Here is how it works. In the Mandukya Upanishad, after explaining these, half of the Mandukya Upanishad is what I just said. The other half is what I'm going to tell you now about Om. It's a method which you can apply to come to this enlightening moment. What's the method? Mandukya says, you, the waker, and your entire waking world is an appearance in consciousness. Give this experience, what you're having now, give this experience a name. You see, it says, Om has 4 aspects. Om has 4 aspects. What are the 4 aspects of Om? It literally says 4 letters of Om. What are they? In English we say A-U-M and then silence after that. In Sanskrit, actually A-U-M is the closest we can get. In Sanskrit, A-U-M, Ma. A-U-Ma. If you combine them together, you get not Aum. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Before you knew this, you were pronouncing it correctly. You were saying Om. The moment you say, aha, it is A-U-Ma or A-U-M, so it must be Aum. Now I know more. No, it's wrong. The rules of Sanskrit grammar say when you put A and U together, it becomes O. O. So when the comes after that, correct pronunciation is Om. Correct. You had it right the first time around. But if you analyze that, split it apart, you get A-U-M. The closest we get in Sanskrit is, in English, is A-U-M. But luckily, fortunately, when you write it as O-M in English, that's actually the correct pronunciation. Om is the correct pronunciation. After that comes silence. So when you say Om, silence. A, U, M, silence. These are 3 letters and 1 silence after that, 4. Some of you might be going, wait a minute, the 4th, we just saw. When you experience, you look at your own experience, doesn't it have 4 aspects? Waking, dreaming, deep sleeping, and the real consciousness in which all 3 are experienced, the consciousness itself. 4 aspects? 4 aspects of yourself, 4 letters of Om. You say, can I match them? Yes, the Upanishad says that's what you have to do. Match them, map them. How do you map it? Here is the process. You, the waker, and your entire waking experience, name it the first letter of O. You, the dreamer, and your dreams, which dreams are dreams, name it U, the second letter. Name it means associate in your mind. That's the name of dream. Whose dreams? All dreams. You, the consciousness. And the deep sleep, silence, and darkness, give it the name M. And you, the real consciousness, the gold in the three ornaments, name it the silence. It's the silence after Om. Now you have the beginning of Om as waker and waker's world, dreamer and the dream world, deep sleeper and the deep sleep world, and beyond that the silence. But remember, that silence, and you, the fourth, the consciousness in itself, that silence is not the silence opposed to noise. Here there is noise, and here there is silence. But that silence which we speak about is the silence underlying noise also. It's a continuous silence. Rather, what is meant is the consciousness in which the silence is experienced. Experience the silence and go back from the silence to awareness. In places like this, you can easily do it actually, like Sedona, for example. So, waking, dreaming, deep sleep. You don't have to wake, dream, or go into deep sleep. In the waking world itself, just simulate it. Sit quietly with eyes closed. When you go through Om, chant the whole Om. Okay, here's another thing. I am now practicing the waking world. I go, no, don't do that. That's silly. Chant the whole Om. Just know that it stands for waking, dreaming, deep sleeping. So when you drag it out, Om, cycle in your mind through your entire waking life, the person you experience yourself as. Then some hypothetical dream maybe, how it is like to be in dreams. As you go through the and as you come into the cycle, simulate in your mind, what is it like to be in deep sleep? And as you fade away into silence, know that you are the one consciousness in which all three appear and disappear. Try it now. Let's see. I will chant. You chant with me 3 times. Then the next time, I will chant 3 times. You don't chant with me. You just keep remembering waking, you the waker, your dreams, your deep sleep, and the awareness in which all three come and go. First chant together, and then listen to me chanting it 3 times. If you feel like, you can sit up straight, not rigid, relaxed but alert. Relaxed, alert. Good instruction is be relaxed, don't move, be alert. Relaxed, no movement, be alert. One Swami who sounded like what you might call a boot camp instructor in the Himalayas is giving instructions for meditation, but effective, little rough but effective. He barks at the people sitting there. In Hindi, I'll translate into English. He barks at them. Hilo mat, bolo mat, socho mat. What does it mean? Don't move. And everybody sort of freezes. Don't speak. Okay. Don't think. Don't move, don't speak, don't think. And each of those has very deep implications. Even the instruction not to move, it takes a long time to settle down into it. Speaking, it's not just with tongue, with the mind. It chatters away. Don't speak. From there to don't think, that's a big thing. We are compulsive thinkers, obsessive thinkers. All right. So sit straight, don't move, but alert. If you like, you can close your eyes, chant with me. I will chant Om 3 times. Listen and intensely imagine your waking self, your dream experience, deep sleep, and in the silence, you are the one awareness. Listen and simulate it within yourself. Om. Silence. You are the consciousness in which silence is experienced. You are the consciousness in which is experienced, the waking. You are the awareness in which is experienced, the dreaming. You are the awareness in which deep sleep is experienced. And in and of itself, your name is silence. Silence, witness consciousness. Once more. When you are comfortable, slowly open your eyes.
I'll say this. Whenever they were all doing it, I was for some odd reason thinking of space. It sounded like maybe the sound of space. I'm not sure. I may have heard something similar to that. Maybe it's from a movie or something. I don't know. But it reminds me of space, which wasn't a bad thing. Space is pretty much, in a sense, a void with little distractions. But at the same time, I was thinking, it's like, maybe I want to grab where he's just going Om. I don't know why I want that part. Just kind of have it looping with a good pause in the middle, and just him saying Om with a pause, Om with a pause, and just have that for, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes or something, and then just create an audio file for that, and just listen to it. The reason why I didn't talk or say Om is because I wanted to hear it. And I don't know if me saying it's not the right environment for me to say it. Perhaps when things change, I'll try that. But right now, you can always listen on almost any environment to just sit here and listen to him say that. So I'm seriously thinking about that, honestly. And then just playing it back for myself, if anything else, just to hear him say Om. The second Om he said was, I don't know, it sounded really good to me. I don't know. I mean, I definitely got to hear them again, but the second one rung out to me a bit more than the first. Barely remember the first. Remember the second. Third one sounded okay. So I don't know, did any of his ohms, in terms of the ones where he just said it by himself, the second one just sounded much better to me. I don't know if that means anything. Probably not. It's just maybe a preferential thing, and more likely that's the case. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that actually. I'm gonna grab that segment. I'm gonna edit it in such a way that it's spaced. I don't know, so it's not just a constant ohm, but a nice silence at the end there. Hopefully, Swami Sarvapriyananda won't be mad at that. I don't think he will be, but you know, it's actually, I wonder if Sadhguru says this too. I want to hear his ohm as well. Anyways, actually, I'm going to pause right here, even though it is relatively short, but there's not too much left, and I don't want to run too long. And probably, I think what's coming up is the questions, hopefully. So anyways, I'm going to pause right here, and I'm seriously thinking about that ohm portion. Yeah, that's the end of part 2. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.